welcome to this channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how to replace the fuel filter. So I've incorporated a lot of small videos here. Please make sure you watch the entire lot to make sure that this is something you can actually do. It's a little bit disjointed, but it's all there, but you just need to take your time. Make sure you got lots of photographs and videos before you start. This is time consuming, so make sure you have enough time too. So I mentioned this video is a bit disjointed, but here this is the carpet, and you need to remove all these clips as well, and just pull back these carpets to gain access. You could probably just do it from taking one seat out, which is the big seat, not the one behind the passenger, but taking the double seat out on this 3-litre V6 2003 model. Now, when it comes to how do you remove them, well, you can see that these are the rails here. They have to be in line, of course, and there's a bolt there, a bolt there, a bolt down here, and a bolt down here, and then the seat just easily lifts off. It's not got any harnesses on it unless you've probably got, unless there's the reason to have harnesses on it. But you can see there, that's where the bolts are, and that's where the bolt is, just down there. So these are 8mm nuts coming out of this section here. We remove the 4 retaining screws out there. There's quite a lot of these. You'll get a distinct smell of petrol coming out. Ideally, you want to disconnect the negative terminal of the battery, just in case of sparks, but don't need to. Okay, so once you've got all the screws out, then this will take a little bit of fiddling to get this out. Disconnect that lead there, and out comes this little ring. It's over there. So this car's done 180,000 miles, and here we go. A little bit of fiddling, a little bit of wobbling, and it should lift out nicely. Okay. There we go. That's it out. There we go. And you can see the fuel just dripping into there. Okay, and that's access to your tank. Perfect. Okay, as don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but this is under. We've taken both seats out. You can probably get away with just taking out the driver's seat, but we're taking both seats out, gives it easier access. And that's fairly straightforward. Again, I'll show you how to do that at the end of the video too. So now the fuel filter is being dismantled. You can see the float there, which gives you a level of your petrol, and you're going to use a pick just to disconnect the motor, electrical motor supply, and you can see there's the old filter and there's the new one. The filter surrounds the pump, which is inside. Okay, ideally fuel filters replaced every 100,000, but often we just replace them where we're required. And then you can see just using the pick to remove these tabs here, and that will just gain access to the pump, which is hidden inside. Again, the pump needs to be disconnected. It's an electrical connection, and you can just see it there, the black on that side, and there you go. That's the little black that's been disconnected already, just by unclipping it, just like any other electrical clip. So that's the float disconnected nicely from there, and we just compare the parts and they're identical. It's an aftermarket part. Total genuine parts, not that much more expensive. They're about £40 and maybe £50 for the motor. Aftermarket's maybe 30 and 25 for the motor. So remember, when you're taking this apart, you will need to take some old components off the assembly, such as this thing here, the pressure regulator. Again, it just clips off, and you can apply it back in, keeping the pump level there, or the float level there. And you can see that's the new pump there, that's the old one there, and that's the primary filter there on that little bag on the end. With the reusable parts, again, this will vary depending on where you buy your filter and pump from, but the little O-ring here and the little connector here, these need to come off this and be transferred onto the new one. So here's an interesting thing with the genuine filters, you expect it to fit beautifully. With this one here, you can see we've had to just break away a little bit of the plastic. I'll show you where it is, just over here, because it's putting so much tension onto the original float body assembly that if we didn't break that bit, then we would just put everything under stress and eventually damage the float body assembly just with time. So again, I would say that you know, why put yourself through this when you can just buy the genuine parts and just save yourself a lot of hassle. The reason why I put myself through this is because I couldn't wait for the genuine parts, but I try to plan things in advance. Another interesting part is that the new filter, the new pump that we got to replace it, has a different connection to the old pump, so it's going straight back. But again, this was cross-referenced from a genuine total number, and as per usual, you never quite know what you're getting with aftermarkets. So this will be going back. There was no problem with the pump before, and probably a lot of pumps, probably 50% of pumps are replaced when there's no problems with them, just through misdiagnosis. So I'm quite happy to use the old pump. So before you start this, you want to just take a good video of it, everything you're doing, so that you can reassemble it in the exact same position. So you can see the fuel output lead there, it needs to be connected in, but also the alignment of these, as I said, there's 8 screws. I think there was 8 or 8mm nuts going in, but you have to line it correctly. And those will be the nuts going back in. That's the car just starting there. And remember, this little nail clip needs to be removed just for that pump to, for that lead to come out, but also
you can hear the pump is working.
There we go. You hear the pump working, as Christoph said there. That's it, done. So if you're wondering whether the filter change was worthwhile, if you have a look at that, absolutely black with junk. So no matter how people tell you how clean the fuel is in this country, etc., you're still going to get debris in there and bits of tank, etc., which just corroded. But look at that, absolutely black. So no doubt about it, the new filter will really help with the flow of fuel unimpeded into the engine. And this is also the other filter, the primary filter, which catches everything first. And you've got the secondary filter, which is in that casing. And as you can see, there's not really much in this one whatsoever. Everything just seems to have gone filtered into that grey, horrible, blacky kind of paper filter. What a difference. Now, incidentally enough, to mention was trying to break that filter, the original one. There was actually some difficulty. That thing is absolutely solid. I think it's the Denso part, absolutely solid. And yeah, that was cracked with great difficulty. In reality, the new one would never be able to withstand that kind of pressure. We had to put that into a vise to break it, and that didn't do it, so we then smashed it with a hammer and eventually got access to the inside. Well, as I mentioned, this video is not a how to do it video, just it's a guide, but you're going to have to fill in the spaces where I've not really discussed everything. It's a guide. Hope that helps.